Hi friends, let's take a quick check-in with Tezos, see how things have been getting on. We're consolidating sideways here on the Bitcoin pairing, and likewise over here on the dollar pairing. You can see this sort of messed up. I tried to put in should have just ended up deleting that one and sticking in the one line, but I was trying to do it in yesterday's video and I got the job done. Are we in something like this for just now? Well, I suppose it's probably fairly reasonable to say so. Having just had this, its twin sister over here on the other side. We now have a triangle operating in a descending format. So right, where does that put our target source? Kind of upside target. So you got that $2 area. Breaking out above that we'd have to be aware of fake outs up until you're past 210 and 215 even, or whatever. If we want to see higher highs operating on this time frame, the daily time frame, and everything else, you're looking up to get above the sort of 220 area and look up at this 230 area towards our next resistance and to try and test that 50% Fibonacci retracement line. That's what you want to see there. And if you were to do that, in fact, if you were to go that whole way, then you'd have your measured move off of this, that's that. Likewise, then, oops, sorry, I shouldn't have done there we go. So to the downside, then you've got this line down here at 145, and that's really the sort of the questions that are being asked currently in terms of this shape of this thing right now. And yeah, that's where we are right now. So the upward side target then $2, the downward side target is 188. If we go below 188, we're going past the 144 exponential moving average, and we could be going down to revisit our potential lows here at 180. Now, if that isn't the case, what else could be? And I'll just leave that line as it was for now and just say, look, if that isn't the case there, potentially though it's more something like that, that you've got this symmetrical triangle. The measured move ends up being the same sort of a deal. It's just that you'd be closer towards breaking out of it, and should you break out of something like this and only go really as far as down to here, and it's a fake out, then it just turns into this triangle. And if you go and you get your measured move off the back of it, then you can potentially be looking at having a channel going down the way. So we're going to have to wait and see how this evolves in terms of its overall shaping up, and it's thinking about things and to see if we can resume this sort of brief upward trend that we had there. And it's just exactly the same story really on the Bitcoin pairing. Upward side targets being in around that 2,900 level. First off, that's your first one. Maybe if you get up past that 2,900 level, then you're sort of going above the downward sloping resistance line here, and we could maybe see moves up above towards the 3,000 in that again. But likewise to the downside, you've got your sort of your upward sloping resistance. Where are you going to bring that in at? Is it more like this, where these touches and this being just a test of outside of it, a fake out sort of thing or whatever? Is it more like this here, and over a longer period of time maybe we'll see it bouncing up the way a bit, and let's just see how this evolves. But overall, where the price currently is above most of the major moving averages. We've had a positive cross here in the 4-hour time frame, and we're above the 236, creating a valid Fibonacci retracement where we can reasonably look towards 3,000 as being a target. So there's all of that, and on the 24-hour time frame, there's not enough. We're miles away from a sort of death cross type scenario, with there only being a few dots down there on this thing. Of course, though, they're converging as well here on this time frame on the dollar prices. They're converging. You've got the 50 coming down here, and you've got the 200 coming along here, and this is really sort of a broader perspective, just looking at the way these things are coming in, and the sort of general curve and shape that we've got. We don't want to see them come down and actually touch and potentially cross, and doing so in terms of the price action would be going past those levels and doing what we were talking about anyway. You could just see the evolution of these moving averages at the time should you have a negative scenario play out. Likewise, should you have a positive scenario play out, you can see the evolution of these moving averages not be able to maintain this downward slope towards this, so that the 50 would be converging with the 200, for instance. If the price action were to be above this line, then it would have to start actually moving, up the way and creating a bit of distance between these two. So, that's what we'll be taking a look at, keeping a look at for the future. Should I remember, because I can't remember everything all the time. So let me know in the comments down below if I said something interesting that needs to be revisited in a previous episode, because these things can happen, and I do almost approach the charts almost from a fresh perspective every day, and that has its own sort of fatiguing element to it. It would be handy to have those things reminded at me if I've forgotten something from the past, but I'll probably come across it again anyway. Yes, so anyway, thanks so much for tuning in today. Really appreciate you taking the time spending it with me, looking at the charts. I mean, you could be doing anything, but you're here with me today, so that's fantastic. And like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you know what's good for you. And yeah, so just thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Incidentally, I said at the start of the Bitcoin video today, and I'll say at the end here, the end of recording, that I'm really amazed, and my socks are blowing off at the fact that we've made it past the sort of the calendar date thing in terms of subscribers. So today's date is 4/14, the 14th of April, and there are now more than 414 subscribers as of today of the channel, as of the last 24 hours anyway. So we've made it past the dating system in terms of numbers, and that's great. I just feel super happy about that. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next episode.